It's one of those days where I'm just not gonna make it to my desk. So I've been learning a lot from this Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality fanfiction. If you watched my video called Potential to Kill, that was inspired in part by that fanfic where somebody, I think Quirrell, teaches Harry that he has the potential to kill. And this video is in part inspired by the exact same scene, wherein Harry Potter finds he must learn how to lose. How to lose graciously and without making things worse for himself. I consider myself a pretty good loser. When I'm not losing to my family, I know how to see multiple sides of an argument, so I am frequently more prepared for accepting that another argument is better than my own. I often come across as defensive, but that's just because I'm merely trying to ensure that a full picture is painted before the other person makes assumptions. So I will present the full extent of my view before I concede that I am wrong, even though I have conceded to myself that I am wrong before I've presented the full conviction. And so I had an experience in losing today. Many of you know that I've been working on this goddamned capstone for since I guess the beginning of the school year, and we had our final presentation today, which I will admit is only worth 40 points when the paper was worth 160. So this is not a big deal. And I did really well on the presentation. I was composed, I knew what I was talking about, I didn't freak out when my slides kind of got out of order because the person who was running my slideshow wasn't pausing on the right moments. I just kind of proceeded. Whatever. I stood up to the questions afterwards really well, and I think it actually was going really well. But I could tell that they had some issues with what I was presenting, and so it came as no surprise when my history teacher told me, in more words, in kinder words, that my question was a stupid question, and I should have asked a different one instead. And in more words, kinder words, my English teacher did in fact say the same thing. I knew they were right. The conversation we had been having prior to that indicated as much, and I was in total agreement. But the question is whether or not I was capable of losing. Could I bring myself to concede absolute defeat? And as far as I could tell in that moment, I had 4 options. Option 1 was just start crying in front of everybody. And honestly, this is not something that's worth crying over. There are things in life that are worth crying for, and this is not one of them. Option number 2 was to just leave the classroom, and that would not have gone well, and that also would have been the most awkward walk out the classroom ever. Option 3 was punch my history teacher in the face, which I imagined would not benefit my grade. Option 4 was to lose with grace intact. I chose option 4. I'm sure I'd be telling this story in a much different way if I had picked any of the other 3 options, especially option 3. And so I was like, yeah, you are right, my question is stupid, and I should have done this thing, and I should have talked more about how this theory may or may not have related to on-the-ground chivalry. I myself know what I did not tell them is what I told them is I know I did not do enough research. What I did not tell them is I know I did not do enough research because I was so busy, dedicating energy to staying alive, which is hard to do as a chronically ill person, and so I didn't scour the ends of the earth for sources. And so, but, like, what's the point of mentioning that? It wouldn't have changed the fact that it was a stupid question, and so I lost. And I'm going to do fine on my capstone. And so this is really a fable with a moral at the end, which is that if you do end up losing yourself as an individual, you viewer who are watching, it's not going to be the end of the world. And sometimes the only way to win the war, to go on, to graduate, whatever, we can be talking school, we can be talking jobs, we can be talking relationships, we can be talking whatever. Sometimes the only way to win the larger war is, in fact, to lose the battle. And honestly, if you're at school and you're doing a presentation and they question you and you get torn to shreds, your classmates, except the ones you hunt down specifically because they will be objective and tell you what you did wrong, the ones who are going to volunteer their opinions are going to comfort you. It's not going to be as bad as you think. And in retrospect, you'll probably just be glad it's over with. And start looking forward to the thesis you have to do the next year. I hope you have a great day.